Hi everybody, it's River with By Jove Astrology, and today I have a weekly tarot reading for you for the dates of April 14th, Monday, all the way till Sunday, April 20th. So for today it's going to be 4 cards that I'm going to be pulling. The first is the overall energy that we're feeling, the collective vibe. The second is the challenge that many of us are facing. The third is how to deal with this challenge. And the fourth is our potential gift. So I've already pulled a card for the potential gift, and I'm going to go ahead and place that in the corner. And let's do a shuffle of the Smith-Waite Tarot deck. So this is a collective message. Just take what feels right to you and leave what doesn't. Even if some of these things might not be affecting you, it could be affecting the people in your life. So just have it as an awareness. Now let's close our eyes first and take a few slow, deep breaths. Whenever I close my eyes as I'm reading tarot, I like to imagine connecting to my higher self, to spirit, and to spirit guides. All right, I'm going to be shuffling these cards, just thinking again of what is the overall energy vibe for this week for the collective, what is our challenge, how to deal with this challenge, and we've already pulled the card for the potential gift. So let's give that a shuffle. Okay, now I'm going to make 3 piles. Let's go here. So the first card is the overall energy or vibe for this week. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. The second card is our challenge. The third card is how to deal with this challenge. And the fourth card we have is the potential gift. So before I dive into this reading, I invite you to pause the video, take a screenshot, and sit with the cards yourself and journal, especially if you are a practicing tarot student. It's a really good way to just trust and listen to your intuition first, and then kind of see what themes are coming up and what connects. So again, for the first card, we have the overall energy. It's the overall energy or the vibe of the week. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. For the challenge, we have the 9 of Pentacles. And for how to deal, we have Judgment. And the fourth card is the potential gift, and we have the moon. We have a full moon. So let's begin. So we have, for the overall energy and the vibe of this week, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And here you can see a person that is leaning on a staff or a wand, and they're in their garden or on their farm, and you can see that there's pentacles growing here, but they're not quite ready to harvest. And so as you look at this person, kind of take a moment to see, what do you imagine their thoughts and feelings are? I think that will kind of show a lot about what your internal thoughts or feelings. I've had people before say that this person looks like they are very pensive, perhaps they're worried. Some have said that they look bored or sleepy, maybe daydreaming. Are they frowning, or is their face just in a relaxed state? And so with the 7 of Pentacles, this comes up a lot when we are in a waiting period. We've already done a lot of work, as you can see on this farm here, that the field is not empty, right? There's already 7 pentacles growing. So that means in the stage from 1 to 10 that you've already completed a lot. You've already grown a lot, whether that be in perhaps your business, at your work. Maybe you have gotten better at saving money with your finances. Maybe you are taking more care of your physical health and your body. Perhaps you have created a regimen and started eating better, or maybe just the things in your home environment, the actual actuality of your material world, you're putting a lot more time and energy and attention into it. But we're sort of in that period of like, okay, I've done all these things, but I'm not yet quite, you're not really seeing the gains fully. I mean, something is there. You don't have nothing. But a lot of times when this card comes up, there's a sense of impatience. And I see that coming in the energy of the challenge card because we have the Nine of Pentacles. So more Pentacles energy. The Nine of Pentacles usually is this card where you can see this person here in these beautiful robes, again in their garden. They have the pentacles here, but I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually grapes growing behind them. So there are things that, are there and ready to harvest. And so this is a moment of, just being in, enjoying the luxury of what you've created, the beauty of the things that you have around you. But because this is in the challenge card, it's like, and you can even see how these cards are interacting with each other, the way that this person is looking down at the other, it's almost like, okay, maybe perhaps they are daydreaming, right? They are thinking of the things that they want to enjoy, but they just aren't at that spot yet. You can even see the difference in clothing, right? This person's robes and this person's more like casual workwear, right? And just the energy that they both seem to have. Of even her body shape is more open and his is a bit more closed. And so it feels like, yeah, you're in this waiting moment where I could see all these things that I could potentially do and I could potentially be enjoying, but maybe financially you just don't have it yet, right? Or again, if it's a physical body thing, right? It's like, okay, I've gone to the gym and I'm working out, but I'm not, and it doesn't necessarily mean like seeing the results as far as like I have abs, but maybe it's like, okay, I've been working out consistently and I still can't lift that weight that I want to lift, or I still can't run that certain amount without getting completely winded, right? Or I'm eating healthy, but yet my energy levels still feel low. So there's something within our material realm that is just not quite matching up to this vision or dream that we have of wanting to do. So if we look on the other side, we're going to see how to deal with this feeling, right? And so what is interesting here is we have the Judgment card. Now with Judgment, I always notice how, all of the figures who are waiting to be, judged or called up to heaven, they don't have any of their possessions with them, right? Everything that we earn or create, we can't bring it with us at the end of the cycle. And so it's kind of important to think about how, a lot of this pentacle energy is focused on the material realm, which sometimes can be too much focused on the internal, because also too, like, pentacles can be the things that we value, right? The things that we spend time and money on. And so if you are externalizing and just focusing on the material realm, we don't have as much focus on what's inside of us. And or for example, like our relationships that we have with other people, our emotional development, our spiritual development. If you kind of are thinking about at the end of it all, that's a bit bleak, but what, when you look back, will you look back and be like, oh, I'm so glad that I had that certain kind of car or that outfit? Or is it more like, I'm glad that I created these relationships with the people in my life and I learned how to connect to my spiritual self? So there's a lot of different ways to kind of just be thinking about, are these things as important as I am making it in my head, right? And I feel like that connects to the potential gift of the week because we have the moon. This is the potential gift, and that's a full moon. And it's just kind of thinking about how we just recently had, not too long ago, the full moon in Libra. And so the full moon in Libra really connected to the Venus retrograde that was happening in the Pisces and Aries dynamic of our chart. And Again, thinking of Venus, Venus is a planet of love, beauty, relationships, harmony, and our values, which can connect to the pentacles here. And even just seeing the circular shape of the pentacle and the circular shape of the moon, it's kind of interesting to note those similarities. But thinking of the moon and the lessons that we basically in the period from March until now, the kind of lessons that have come up for us around relationships, around creating beauty, around harmony in our world, and how those have been playing out. And now we've sort of reached the culmination of a cycle. And so, in reaching the end of a cycle, we have the ability to start something new. And so, that is the gift that the full moon is showing for us, or potentially giving us today. I would definitely recommend, looking at your natal chart and just seeing where the Venus retrograde did take place. I have on my Instagram tarot reading spread for the Venus retrograde that it's definitely great to do, but you can also, if you don't have cards, do that as journaling questions, because there's something in that lesson here that we've been struggling with that is our gift. And even connecting that to, the Saturn conjunction with Venus, and that's that very earthy energy that's coming through here. Like Saturn is the planet of structure and limit and obligation, but it also shows us, certain depths that we wouldn't be able to achieve without going through those struggles. And so thinking about that area of the chart where it's taking place, you can really get a better look at what your struggle was, and then from that, what your gift was. So that is the reading for today. Again, I'll say what the cards are. So the first one we have is the overall energy and vibe of the week for the collective, and that's the Seven of Pentacles. The challenge, which is the Nine of Pentacles. The how to deal, we have Judgment. And our potential gift, we have the Moon. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if any other messages came through for you as you were looking at the cards. And I hope you have a great day.